Welcome to the RAL Room Assisted Living Podcast with your hosts, Charlie Cameron and Alex Schlow. This is your go-to show for cutting-edge insights from industry leaders in residential assisted living.
Whether you're ready to launch your own assisted living business or looking to invest in this fast-growing, high-impact sector, we are here to equip you with the tools, strategies, and confidence you need to succeed. Get ready to ride the silver tsunami and change the future of senior care. Now on to today's show.
All right, welcome back to the RAL Room Assisted Living Podcast, your go-to place for all things residential assisted living, from real estate, investing to design and operations. I'm Charlie Cameron.
And I'm Dr. Alex Schlow, and we are so pumped about today's episode because we're doing another RAL Room Roundup. We're diving into some key trends that every assisted living investor and operator needs to know. And we're sharing some awesome wins from our RAL Room Assisted Living Mastermind community.
And we're going to be talking about some things that are happening for us as well and some upcoming events. So we're really excited to share those with you guys today. But let's start with the big picture. So you've heard us say it before, the silver tsunami is not coming, it's already here. And one of the most eye-opening headlines from Market Watch is that senior housing is so scarce that older adults are buying units before they even need them.
This is wild, Charlie. People are buying and putting large deposits down on senior living spots 5, even 10 years in advance. Not because they're ready to move in, but because they are so worried and concerned that there won't be anything available when they are ready to move in. This speaks volumes about where the senior living market is headed and shows a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, and it also kind of shows a new model within assisted living that potentially you could sell availability ahead of time, which is interesting and something we haven't even considered until this point. So we're hoping to learn more about that and who's doing it and what that looks like. But the data backs this up. So Market Watch talks about how by 2030, the U.S. is expected to face a shortfall of 500,000 senior housing units. There's other stats out there that show that we're already a million short. And because the population over 80 is going to double over the next decade, that we're going to be another million short because only 26,000 units are coming online each year right now, which is nowhere going to meet the need.
Yeah, unbelievable. That is an enormous gap, and it's a huge opportunity for us in residential assisted living, especially because more and more people are realizing that the traditional kind of big box senior living isn't the only option anymore. There's demand for cozy residential home-like settings that residential assisted living offers, which is exactly what we want to build. And one other thing I wanted to say, Charlie, the crazy thing looking at this is that imagine you're building a residential assisted living home and you already basically have it leased up before construction's even done. If people are signing and filling out a deposit before that's even completed. How wild would that be? That would change the game for placement agents, for investors, for operators, all the above. So we'll see how this pans out.
I think we might be able to test that theory pretty soon. Potentially sell some slots ahead of time, which would be
stay tuned.
Absolutely wild. Yeah. And so there's another side to this story. So another article here from Senior Housing News. The senior living industry is facing big challenges with new development, especially with rising construction costs and, of course, ever tightening lending conditions, it seems.
Yeah, and there's a silver lining, though. There has been an open door for creative, small-scale investors and operators, just like you who's listening to this, to step in. Instead of needing $20 million or more to build a giant commercial facility, you can buy or repurpose a single-family residential home and serve residents just as well, actually probably better.
Yeah, exactly. So the residential assisted living model, whether it's leased to operator or whether you're operating the home yourself, fits really well into this market gap. And really, these bigger facilities we just mentioned end up basically being a source for residents for your homes, people who are looking for, or the families that are looking for a different type of care that can be provided through residential style, especially more luxurious assisted living than can be provided in these bigger facilities. And you could do this without the giant upfront costs associated with those big facilities.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention the seniors in these residential assisted living homes are actually living longer. I meant to bring this up for this podcast, but I'll just put a quick teaser here that there was a study done, a medical study that was done that was looking at mortality in seniors in big box facilities or in more of a residential setting. And the folks that were in residential assisted living lived longer. I don't know about you, but I would love for my grandma or grandpa to live longer and would do whatever it takes. So it seems like residential assisted living, even from a mortality perspective, is the way to go.
Yeah.
So let's talk about another huge trend to be aware of, Charlie. Occupancy rates in senior housing and senior living are on the rise again. So for the 12th straight quarter, which is practically unheard of in commercial real estate right now, occupancy rates in senior living have continued to rise.
Yeah. And by 2026, which is almost here, we're projected to hit an average occupancy of 91% across senior living. That's nearly full capacity in every market. Combine that with rising rates and increasing interest, and you got one of the best performing asset classes in real estate today.
Yeah, that's probably why assisted living or senior living now ranks at the top of investor interest surveys. So if you're looking for an investment that's both profitable and purpose driven, assisted living is on the move.
Yeah. And what does it mean for you that wants to run a home and become an operator? It means that people want this type of care, that it's in huge demand and low supply. Historically, it's been nearly 90%, except for a short drop in COVID with an extremely fast recovery rate after. People are willing to pay a premium for this type of care.
Yeah, we didn't even hit on that there is typically less competition and fewer regulatory hurdles than the big guys, than those big facilities. So boutique operators can move faster, they can serve better, but you got to be sharp. You got to make sure you're still looking at state licensing, your specific market, locality, licensing and zoning requirements, staffing, design, marketing, all of that matters. And that's what we help with inside the RAL Room.
And just for the listeners that maybe are picking up now, the RAL Room is a mastermind style community, all focused on helping people just like you launch your first or next residential assisted living home, a six-figure home within the next year. So we want to talk now and kind of shift gears a little bit about some of the members and what they've been accomplishing. Sorry to interrupt this episode, but let's be honest. Most real estate investing right now, it's either buy a fourplex or try Airbnb and hope for the best.
Yeah, we're not here for that.
We're here to show you what we believe is the most overlooked high cash flow real estate strategy in the game right now. You guessed it, residential assisted living. It's literally the one place in real estate where you can net six figures on a single home and feel like a decent human being at the same time. You're helping sweet old ladies eat pancakes and play bingo and live longer through better care. You tell me what's better than that.
So we're hosting a free live webinar called How You Can Create Financial Freedom with Residential Assisted Living. No fluff, just value. And it's happening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 Mountain Time. No excuses. It's online. Put on sweatpants. We won't judge.
We'll break down why residential assisted living is the best opportunity right now, the 5 steps to take down your first home, and how to set up a business that makes a real impact and real money.
Spots are limited, so don't be that person who DMs us in 3 months saying, wait, is it too late to start?
So hit up theralroom.com/webinar and register now.
Be the hero your grandma already thinks that you are.
We'll see you there. Pancakes not included. And I think we should start with Aaron and Andrea.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron and Andrea are incredible. They are some of the founding members of the RAL Room, and they've partnered with us and we're currently raising capital for a 32-bed luxury assisted living and memory care community in Tomball, Texas, just outside of Houston. This area already has a documented 150-plus bed shortage for memory care. There's no other new developments coming, and their project is hitting the need right on the nose, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be more perfect for what they're doing and where they're doing it. And they're getting a ton of support from the city, which is amazing. And if you are looking for a deal that you want to jump into, then this is a great one to look into. You can certainly reach out to us. We'd be happy to connect you and see if this is a good opportunity for you to invest in. You can just shoot us an email at team@theralroom.com if you want to learn more.
Yeah, this is a great way to get involved investing in assisted living without having to handle the day-to-day operations. So this is about as passive of an assisted living investment that you could get, and the returns are awesome. Next, let's go ahead and shout out Susan. So she just got back from Edinburgh, Scotland, and she just closed on her very first residential assisted living home in Texas that she is planning to renovate into an incredible 16-bed home. It's awesome.
Yeah, she just closed at the end of May and is already rolling on renovations. And it seems that she said it herself that the RAL Room calculator really helped her figure out if this home was going to work for her. And it gives you that quick snapshot of, hey, when this is after I do all these renovations and I've got all these expenses and I put everything together, when it's performing and I've filled all the rooms, what's it going to look like? And it looks great. So huge congrats to Susan on that win. And we're looking forward to seeing the progress.
Yeah, let's also highlight Casey. Casey joined the RAL Room in February, and he's already under contract on his first home that he is converting to a residential assisted living home. That's just within a few months of getting started in the community.
Yeah, so it's been amazing to see the folks that come in, and get plugged in right away, which is most of them, are moving very quickly. They're taking a lot of action. They're showing up to their accountability pods. They're showing up to the weekly calls, and they're getting it done. We have quite a few folks that have either opened homes or are under contract, have closed on property, or are starting developments at this point, which is pretty incredible to see.
Yeah, speaking of new developments, Charlie, is there a big update that you have for us?
Yeah, there is, Alex. Big update from us. Luke and Alex and I are now under contract on 10 acres of land in Winchester, Virginia.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. We've been on the land search for, gosh, what seems like forever, and evaluated a bunch of different properties, and nothing really came back feasible, or the zoning wouldn't work, or we were just running into roadblock after roadblock. And then we found this plot of land, which seems perfect in an amazing market. Right now, we're working through due diligence, which has been exciting. We just got off a call with a potential construction manager, and we've been working with civil engineering and some more folks on the team. So a lot is going into it, and we are thick in due diligence right now with the goal of building 4 residential assisted living and memory care homes on that land. It's a gorgeous piece of property in a market that needs way more care homes. This will be one of the first residential assisted living homes in that area, and we're so excited to offer it to the community.
Yeah, everything seems super aligned on this one. So we're just going to keep our fingers crossed and not get too far ahead of ourselves. We've still got a lot of due diligence to do in this journey and get everything ready to go. So we'll keep you guys updated over the next few months. Be sure to watch us on social media here on YouTube and the podcast, as well as check out our Facebook communities, and we'll keep you guys up to speed on what's happening. We want to just document this whole journey for you as well. But shout out to Jane for pointing this property out. It just seems like the perfect use for it. So really stoked to build out hopefully a small campus of high quality assisted living luxury homes.
Yeah, what's really cool about it too is the support we've had from zoning, from the city already, and the excitement they have for that project. And I posted a Instagram reel just talking a little bit more about it once we got under contract. And we had a comment on there from someone from Winchester, and they're like, "This is perfect. This is much needed. I'm so excited for this." So it's really cool to see that excitement already start to build. We got a long way to go, but man, it's going to be a good run. So let's go ahead and bring this home, Charlie. So the big takeaways for today, I think, are fairly simple, right? Like, demand is exploding. Supply can't keep up. Residential assisted living is the future, and it's happening now. And there's room for you, whether you want to invest, whether you want to operate, whether you want to just build a legacy of these homes, the opportunity is yours.
Absolutely. And if you're not in the game yet, this is your sign. This is your sign to jump on in. The RAL Room is full of action takers just like you, getting results, closing deals, changing lives. And one of the quickest ways you can get a feel for what we do and whether this is right for you is just by hopping on one of our free webinars. So every couple of weeks, we got a webinar going. If you just go to the ralroom.com/webinar, you can register for our very next one there. And we'd love to go over, hey, how to open your first 6-figure home in the next couple of years. But on the note of the first and only Assisted Living Mastermind community, I just want to shout out one more thing that we just planned our first live event. Alex, can you give us some details on those?
Oh man, I am stoked for this event. It's going to be in November, and we are going to be in Arizona attending an assisted living conference there. And we are pumped that we rented out this massive Airbnb property. It's got pickleball courts. It's got a little putt thing. It has a pool. It's got a hot tub, and a bunch of RAL Room members are coming. We're all going to crash in this incredible Airbnb, and we're going to learn more and more about assisted living and how we can impact the senior living game and take fantastic care of seniors. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, we're stoked that, it'll have just been over a year and we're now having our first live event. And I just can't wait. Like, we love so many of our members, and we're just so excited to start hanging out with them in person. And hopefully next year, some regional events will be coming and maybe some more 2026 events. So stoked to have our first event here in 2025. You do have to be a member to attend. So again, come to one of our webinars. They're free, and we'd love to get to know you a little more and answer any questions you have about this industry and about getting started in assisted living.
Yeah, absolutely. The next webinar should be July 15th, and there'll be a link in the show notes here to go ahead and register. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you want to connect or learn more, feel free to reach out to Charlie or I on really any social media platform. You can find us there, or send an email to team@theralroom.com. That's TAM@theralroom.com, or just visit us at theralroom.com.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming to the Roundup, and we'll catch you next time. Until then, keep building, keep serving, and keep riding the silver tsunami.
Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to the RAL Room Assisted Living Podcast. We hope you found today's episode insightful. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave us a raving 5-star review. And a quick review helps more listeners find the show and more seniors get the exceptional care they deserve.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And just so you know, we have prepared some free resources for you to help you succeed in residential assisted living in addition to this podcast. Head over to theralroom.com, that is the RAL room.com, to download our free 10-step guide to launch your first or next residential assisted living home, or our 10 reasons to passively invest in residential assisted living ebooks.
And if you're ready to take the next step and make real moves in the RAL industry, join us in the RAL Room Mastermind. It is an exclusive community where we deep dive into everything you need to launch and grow your own residential assisted living business. You'll get access to recorded courses, live calls with industry experts, a RAL calculator, resources and tools, like-minded entrepreneurs, funding opportunities, and an expert networking community to help you along your journey. Be sure to join us next time on the RAL Room Podcast as we continue to explore the world of residential assisted living with more great guests. See you then.